Hey everybody, my name is Drew Norris, and I have the privilege of being the new high school student pastor here at North. See, I wanted to start off today's encouragement with a question, and that's this. Have you ever gotten into an argument with someone and you just had to prove that you were right? You see, I absolutely have. And I don't think I'm completely alone in the pursuit of being right or wanting to win an argument. But you see, the thing is, many times I look back at those moments and I recognize that trying to prove my point or trying to show that I'm right, especially when there's a big disagreement, ultimately it comes at the cost of creating divisiveness in my relationships. And something I've realized even in growing older is we are better people and we are better followers of Christ when we eliminate division from our relationships. But how can we do that? How can we eliminate division? Well, I think the Apostle Peter wrote a letter to Christ followers, encouraging them and instructing them to live in righteousness. And I want to focus in on something that he writes to them in chapter 3. So follow along with me starting in verse 8. It says this: "Finally, all of you have unity of mind, sympathy, brotherly love, a tender heart, and a humble mind. Do not repay evil for evil or reviling for reviling, but on the contrary, bless. For to this you were called, that you may obtain a blessing." Wow, did you hear that? I want to draw your attention to some of the power words and phrases that Peter uses there, like having unity in the mind, or being sympathetic, or being loving, having a tender heart, having a humble mind. Those are big and powerful words. So as Christ followers, how can we eliminate division in our relationships? Well, I think Peter just wrote it by sympathizing with others, by showing love that Christ modeled for us, by being tenderhearted, which ultimately it means being easily moved or compassionate. But also even by having a mindset of humility. You see, Peter finishes his thought by telling them no matter what the other people do or say, bless them. And he says this: "For this you were called, and ultimately you will obtain blessing." So as you go about your day, as you scroll through Facebook, as you talk with your spouse or your in-laws or your kids or your friends, bless those around you. And by the leading of the Holy Spirit, we can have relationships that are characterized by righteousness.